everybody, Stu Carter here from Atamaii TV, and I've got all, not one, not two, all of the minifigures from that hot movie Guardians of the Galaxy. So stand by for a Guardians toy review. Here's a close look at the packages. This one is Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and a Saraaran trooper. You might remember the Saraarans are that army led by Ronan, the Accuser, and they're after the Nova Empire, the Nova Corps people. And in this one, and then there's another, you can get another Rocket Raccoon. There's 5 of these in the assortment. And this one is Rocket with Groot, another version of Groot, like with more green on him, and a Nova Corps officer. Now, there's been some confusion about the Nova Corps. Remember that in the movie, the Nova Corps are these military type guys kind of protecting the universe. You can consider them equivalents to S.H.I.E.L.D. on Earth. Not to be confused with the character Nova, Marvel's Nova, which they made a action figure for, and I was talking about that. Here's the action figure for Nova, right? And I was talking about this. They released this and with the same release as the Guardians of the Galaxy larger figures. And there was talk that they were going to put this character in the movie. He was associated with the Guardians like early on in the 60s, okay? And I think even some guys have been saying even in the reboot of the Guardians comic book, he came out then as well. But this is not to be, this Nova is not the Nova Corps guys. This is Nova the person. The Nova Corps are like a group of people, you know, kind of an army, okay? So there's that. And then, okay, and then so you've got these 2 versions of Groot and Rocket. Personally, if I was just getting one, I'd get this one because he's got his signature rifle that he uses like when he's hunting down Star-Lord and some other guys. Although they both come with some kind of extra weapon. By the way, these are 2.5-inch scale. Yeah, so they're a bit smaller than the Star Wars figures, aren't they? I'm sorry, I don't have any Star Wars figures here to compare them to. Let's look at the rest of them. Here's Star-Lord and Ronan. And Ronan's the bad guy, also known as Ronan the Accuser. Well, nobody likes somebody who's going around accusing, oh, you stole something, or you're a bad guy. It was him, the Accuser. Nobody likes a snitch, and that they call him the Accuser, but he's really a henchman for who? I need a chart to tell all the characters in this universe. That's really difficult for me. And then here's another one. Star-Lord, they're calling him Star-Lord, although, see, he doesn't have his mask on. He's Peter Jason Quill, and with Gamora, and she's cool. She's Captain Kirk's girlfriend, kind of. And so then if I had to choose between these, so you get 2 Star-Lords, I would maybe take this one because he's got his little respirator breather that he breathes in space, and also he's got this big weapon thing that he uses at the end of the movie. And of course, Ronan, you got to have the bad guys. But Gamora is cool too. So, and then finally, there's 5 of these. This is the last one. Drax and Korath. Drax doesn't get much respect, but he's a cool dude, right? And Korath, he's the ally of Ronan. He came after. Remember in the movie? Remember when Peter Quill took the Infinity Stone? Like Korath, showed up instantly. How did that happen? How did he know to be there exactly? I mean, the Infinity Stone has been sitting in that place, what, for infinity, right? Forever or for a long time. And then suddenly, at the same time, Korath and Peter Quill show up at the same time to grab it. I don't know. It's one of them plot holes. Okay, well, you ready to get these out of the package and look at them? All right, let's go. Let's go. No questions, I hope. Good. So here's a look at the pack with Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and the Nova Corps officer. And this Groot's got a little bit of green on him, and he stands up by himself pretty good because of those big stumpy feet. And there's no peg holes on the bottom, but there's something else interesting. And Rocket Raccoon, see, I need to use a little bit of stickum to keep him upright because his feet are really spindly. And his tail is not articulated like the larger figures, so he can't use that to prop himself up. A little bit in scale, right? So you've got a shorter Rocket and a taller Groot, but I think truly in scale, Groot would be much bigger. And then here's that Nova Corps officer. I kind of like the detail on this guy too. Rocket especially, and the Nova Corps guy have got pretty good detail for a figure this small. And here's the secret. Look at the bottom of his foot. There's a secret number there. Do you see it? Yeah, it says, what does it say? 40901. What do you suppose that means? I think it means that's the lot number of the toys, because I saw some other packages with the same numbers. And interestingly, well, also they gave us this, they call it battle gear, right? It's like this big launcher thing with a flick missile. And I don't know, how do you, well, see, none of these guys can really carry it. It will fit on the spaceships, and Rocket's spaceship came with one of these, so you could use, now you've got two for the spaceship. And then they also give you this weird stuff. What does it do? It'll fit into the back of, Groot's got like a hole in his back. And Rocket also has, and a Nova Corps guy. So you can put this silly stuff. It's not movie authentic, which, so I have a problem with it. See, if they had authentic weapons, I would be happy. So what does that do? It doesn't do anything, you know. It just looks silly. Just let's make some plastic thingy. All right, let's look at the others. And so here's the Groot number 2 with Rocket and his rifle, his blaster, and the Saraaran Trooper. I like the detail on the Saraaran Trooper, especially his armor, and he's got details on the armor. So little, like, it looks like 3 paint colors, right? Black, silver, red. I think it's a nice job. You can also see he's got little epaulet things. I like that. Rocket, I like that he's got a movie authentic weapon for once. This is the rifle he was using in the movie. You got to use the sticky putty to keep him upright. He'll definitely fall down trying to hold that big gun. And then Groot, yeah, he's tall. Let's see the difference between the two Groots. Is it just a little bit of a paint? It's like one Groot has more green than the other. That's all I see. Is that what you see? That's like a little bit of different splash. More green on this Groot. And this Groot's got green down his arm, and this one's just kind of browny green. Yeah, that's the only difference. And Groot. And, you know, not all of these guys, they just bend pretty much at the legs, at the hips, and at the shoulder joints. So they won't sit down. And actually, Rocket doesn't bend at all. Here's the battle gear. You just get this big blaster thing. It'll fit on a spaceship. And see, there's even like a handle. None of those guys can hold this. And then some silly little pieces. I'm not even going to talk about those. So here's Star-Lord and Ronan. And Star-Lord's kind of rocking. This is not a skirt, right? Although it comes off like a skirt. It's not a skirt. It's the bottom of his big long coat thing, you know, his duster kind of Western style coat. You know, it's brown. If it was black, he'd look like Neo in The Matrix, don't you think? And then there's Ronan. And Ronan's got some nice details too. I like, again, the paint job, just like the Saraaran Trooper guy. He's got the red, he's got the blue, he's got the black, he's got the silver. So it's 4 colors, I count, right? And then they get this, you get this flick missile launcher, this weapon, which is movie authentic. Star-Lord used this in the movie. He was like holding it, but there's no way he can hold this. You have to hold it for him. The large, remember I reviewed the large figures, and he could hold this one in the large figures. And stand up Ronan. Ronan stands up. And Ronan's got another movie authentic prop. Pretty sure I saw in the movie him wield, or at least carrying, this galactic hammer thing. You know, I don't know, what does it do? But I think I saw some, you know, lightning. There's always lightning in these things. These guys, these galactic guys, have got the lightning, but where's the thunder? You know, and then you get a couple more of the silly pieces. All right, let's look at let's look at some more. So here's Gamora and Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and she has movie authentic props. I remember in the movies he had this long blade lance kind of thing. And she's definitely rocking that green skin. And the hair is multicolored, right? Brownish and reddish, like in the movie. Nice detail. So that's 1, 2, about 4 colors. And then Peter Quill, Star-Lord. What happened to him? Gamora snagged his blaster. He can't hold the blaster. Although in the movie he had 2 of these. He only gets 1 in this set, sorry. And it just kind of barely fits in his hand. You can see it came out already so easy. It doesn't really aim it that well. But are you going to call him Peter Quill, or are you going to call him Star-Lord if he's not wearing a mask? He could be Star-Lord without the mask. He even said so, right? Yeah, they asked him, and he said, "Oh, I'm Star-Lord," but he doesn't have the mask on, so like people don't give him any respect. That's too bad. And you get this. This battle gear is kind of a replica of the gun used by Rocket Raccoon. It's quite a bit larger, so again, nobody can really carry it. It's got the little hook here, so the little peg, so it can go on a ship. Yeah, and then you get a couple more of the silly pieces. Yeah, last set. Right, and finally here's Drax and Korath. Korath, the guy who was hassling Peter Quill. And again, they're rocking it with the detail for figures this small. You see all the details. He's got his Drax has his knives kind of, they don't come out. They're molded into his scabbards that are in his boots. And you can see the tattoos on his back and front. Looks pretty good. By the way, kids, don't do this yourself. Your kids, you're not allowed to get tattoos until you paid off your college student loans. And then here's Korath. Again, nice details on his little armory thing in the red and stuff, the red accents. And you get a little launcher thing. What is it? You know, who knows? And a couple more of the silly pieces. Well, let's look at them all together one more time. Okay, so here you can see the lineup of all the figures together in this first series of the Guardians of the Galaxy minifigures from Mattel. And you might notice that I put the large figures behind so we can compare them, which I will do in a second here. Yeah, so I've got the large figures of the main cast arrayed behind, of course, our little minifigures. Let's just see how the scale looks. You'll notice Rocket Raccoon comes up just about to Groot's inseam here with these, right? But you can see on this set here, Rocket Raccoon is just about at Groot's knee, okay? He's quite a bit of difference there. And also notice Star-Lord, his head is a little bit above Groot's shoulder on these minifigures, but here he's quite a bit below Groot's shoulder. So they kind of had to cheat the scale a little bit to make these minifigures kind of work together, you know, in the package and stuff. So you did get too small. If they really made them in scale, the Groot would be quite a bit larger, maybe up to here. Or Rocket would be a bit smaller down to here, and you couldn't even play with them. So that's a trade-off. Know also that these work with all these minifigures will fit in the ships, which we reviewed before, right? I've got 3 ships, and they've put out 3 ships so far. Somebody claimed that there's another one. I haven't seen it. Lego's got a new ship, but these are not Legos. And so all these guys could fit in. And you know, Star-Lord's ship, the Milano, holds 3. And I'm not going to try to put them in. You just know there's seats for 3 in there, so that's nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed that look at the Guardians of the Galaxy minifigures from Mattel. You better subscribe because we got a lot more coming up as we get towards closer and closer to Christmas. Oh my God. Coming up soon, I'm going to review some weapons from Boomco. These are all new. I've got this huge automatic machine gun thing from Boomco. That's Mattel Toys. Also, we're going to look at the blaster by Peter Star-Lord's blaster. And I've got Rocket Raccoon's blaster as well. We've done thorough tests of these. I just have to edit them up and show them to you. So until next time. Oh wait, don't go away. Bonus review here. I bought so much Guardian stuff at the toy store that the lady there gave me 2 of these free promo items. You see what they are? Well, they're shaped like, at least the package has a picture of a cassette tape deck, a cassette tape. And this is how, you ask your granddad, they'll tell you this is how we used to have to listen to music. We didn't have phones. And it's got Guardians on the front, and it's an awesome mix, right? Yeah, and it's really a sticker pack. Yeah, it says Awesome Mix Volume 1. And on the back, it's got the cast written on it and it's got some stuff. And see, if you pull this out, and what's sad is, see, when you in the real world, when you start pulling the tape out of the cassette, that's when it's going to mess up. That's when you're not going to be able to play your tapes anymore. Once that happens, that was a problem with cassette tapes. But if you pull this out, you get all these cool stickers. Oh, there's Star-Lord, and just some more Guardians logo stuff. You can put these. I guess you can put these. You know, because Guardians was so popular, such a big hit. We're probably going to see a bunch of this kind of stuff appearing. Probably some of it just in time for Christmas. Probably a lot. There's Rocket. Probably a lot of this is going to show up in January. That's Rocket again. Yeah, and that's Drax, huh? Drax again. Drax. It says Drax. And yeah, there's Gamora. Wow. So you could put these. Has anyone found these? I'm pulling all this out. Has anyone found these in store? Oh, there's Ronan with his galactic hammer thing that I was just talking about. Yeah, that's it. That's all you get. Yeah. Wow. Free stuff. I guess I'll give this to my son. Okay. Have a good day.
No one I know is out to kill me. I guess I'm doing okay. I'm lost among the millions. Just an empty head filled with the sky. I separated my life between the boring